Hey Oshinz, do you want to see a trick?
Okay. You monkey. Get out of that tree, you little monkey. That's fucking awesome. I'm throwing my airstrike if you don't get out of that tree right now.
I'm sorry.
Alright. Alright. Yo.
You like that though?
That's actually really sick.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I do apologise for taking so long to upload. I've had wisdom teeth removed recently and it put me out for the count. I'm still a bit swollen, but bear with me. So as you can see, I have got 17 pro tips for you, and this is going to be like an advanced guide on using Pathfinder in his grapple and the zipline and things you can do with them, because I've been maining Pathfinder since the beginning and I have discovered so much that you can do with him that I still don't really see about, and I'd really like to show you the potential of his abilities. But other than that, let's get straight into it. So tip number one is the basic grapple and zipwire range. Like, how far can you actually shoot your grapple and it attached to a wall? How far can you launch the zipwire? Now with the grapple, as you can see with the sniper, look on the right side, you can see how many meters there are, and at 21 meters does not work. We're going to move a little bit forward. 20 meters it works. We know the grapple takes a 20 meter distance. Now with the actual zip wire, you can see here it's going red and blue, and then as we get close, we're just going to stop immediately, launch it, and then we're going to do that same measurement system. And as you can see, it says 112, but I'm pretty sure it's not actually 112. It's probably like 110 or 115 meters potential, but there is actually a glitch at the moment where you can do infinite, but they'll most likely patch that as well. Now tip number two, and this is going to be like a few basic jump maneuvers, and that's the side swing. As you can see, you can get some mega launches going on, absolutely launching you across part of the map, and you can do this on multiple directions, like going upwards to like hook yourself over the top and the other side of the enemy, and you can do it like all over these tall areas of the map. Like pretty much all of these mountains, all of these high building locations, they're just the best places to land in, because as you can see here, boom, from bottom to top of the map in one little side swing. The side swing is probably going to be your most useful, and you're going to be doing a lot of traveling around with that, because you get that momentum, you're going. Now tip 3 is the under and up maneuver. So as you can see here, this is basically like doing a bit of a loop-de-loop maneuver, and you just want to look down as you go under, and that will it will prevent your hook from reeling back in. And then if you want it to reel in so you end up getting launched, just look up as you go under and you'll just come flying up on top. And like once you get the maneuverability down, you definitely get used to it. So under and up, look forward, and then just release, and you can do some slides that it all picks up that momentum and just carries you forward in such a fast rate. You can do it with like the supply ship, jump out the back, do an under and up maneuver to get back on top of the top deck. It's just insanely useful, especially if you're underneath the building areas. Like here, you do an under and up maneuver, and boom, that's a bit of a side swing and under and up. Like that's a perfect 180 loop-de-loop up onto the roof of a building. So you have to do a bit of a mix. And all of these like under and ups, like the sideways ones here, it's got a bit of that like crescent moon like swing motion to it. You don't actually look at the hook, you look slightly away. And it's with the tip 4 grapple jump, if you just grapple directly onto something, it'll force you into a climb animation which slows you down. So what you want to do is jump just as the hook hits, and it will jump you in a launch motion like an arc over the location you grappled. For instance here, I didn't jump, but I hit an object which launched me over because it carried that momentum. The brilliant thing about the hook is it carries momentum, like no matter how you get hit. So for instance here, a perfect example, tip 5 is the 360 swing. It's not particularly useful unless you want to style on your opponents, but you can see how the grapple hook can be used for a lot of different things. Now, in terms of actually using these items in-game, looting and landing, I see a lot of Pathfinders running around looting when they could be getting to things a lot faster with their grapple. So make sure to be using your grapple just to, say, get to a chest or something every now and then, because it recharges every 14 seconds, and that's one of the quickest of all of them pretty much. Like, they're all slightly above. There's only a couple around that mark. And like, say for example, landing, you almost like miss your location, you slide in the wrong way or something, and you can use that grapple to get yourself in and probably like a much more advantageous position. Now, tip number 7 is keeping the high ground. I see a lot of Pathfinders doing this, and in all honesty, I see most of the team members on a Pathfinder's team doing this, and basically, they won't keep the Pathfinder's high ground. They'll just jump straight into all the mess and take unnecessary damage, and a lot of times getting themselves killed, and it's really unnecessary. Like, the Pathfinder sets up a zipline onto high territory, and most people just ignore it, jump in. It's like, well, use the high ground, apply some damage before jumping in. Instead of just jumping in, not having a clue what their damage levels are at, because they could be full everything, and you're just going to jump in there and get shotgunned in the face and dead in an instant. And you might be able to boss it, but that's not always the case. I'm also going to be doing another video on how to get in every single tree, because like here, I basically had to do nothing but just let the enemies fight it out, because guess what? No one looks up, and you can get in nearly every single tree, and no one really knows about them yet. And I know people don't really want to camp in a tree, but say you need to do a quick hill, or you just quickly need to hide from a 3-man enemy that are hunting you down on low health. Like, if you know how to get in every single tree because you've seen a video, you're not going to worry about making mistakes. You're going to be like, I know exactly how to get in here, quickly hide, enemy won't see me, and I am safe. Now, again, like, keeping the high ground, you also want to be able to get behind your enemy. So, like, once you've got the high ground and you have applied that bit of damage here, I've got a team that's working really well. We've applied that damage, and then boom, I surround them, get behind, and finish off. It's a pretty deadly tactic once it's used well. Now, as the Pathfinder, I fully support that they should be a beacon recoverer. Now, they're not really a healer in any way, but I think they are 100% a support character. They set up zip lines for people, they have a grapple, and as you can see here, they should 100% be the people that recover beacons, because they could just get in there, get out really easily, claim the high ground. For instance, if you feel uncomfortable taking on like an entire team that has just killed your 2 teammates, like right here, I've just had my 2 teammates killed, an entire 3 team of like wingman people like hunting me down, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want to take this fight. I'm not going to be suicidal today. So I use my Pathfinder to just quickly pop in a little hiding spot, because you've got all these pipe areas, you've got all these nooks and crannies above, similar to the trees that people just don't look in, and then once they've zipped past, you can just get in, get your 1 or 2 of your friend's beacon and get out. Now, tip 9 is grappling people. This is definitely a highly requested one that people want to know about, and it's pretty fun. Now, grappling downed people is a bit tricky, it's a bit glitchy. Sometimes it will like pull them towards you in a really fast paced like jiggle way, exactly like then, and sometimes it will kind of just cut off, it won't grapple them at all. And like Pathfinder's finisher here, the special one seems to freeze people in air, which I think could actually work a little bit well in terms of similar to Mirage's decoys. Someone might see that and shoot it first. Now, in terms of actually grappling people, when you grapple them, your shotgun like automatically lines up center with them. It's really brilliant. Like, your guns just line up dead center, and if you move it, you actually end up missing. Like then I kind of was moving a bit to the right and I ended up doing scrape damage. But when you grapple people, they seem to just line dead straight up. Now, number 10, this is one of my I invented this, I'm sorry, this is mine, and that is zipwire kills. Setting up a zipwire at an angle at the edge of the map, because what happens is the momentum carries them and they just fly over in an archway. But be careful your teammates don't do this. I have accidentally killed teammates doing this. But tip 11 is escape or emergencies. Now, so many people think the Pathfinder has no escapability. Like, once he's in the middle of a fight, he's trapped. And it's like, well, no. I think that's completely false. The Pathfinder has such brilliant escapability. In a moment's notice, he can claim any of the high ground that you will have to take ages either climbing up, or you can't even get up. For example, here, I suddenly got pinched by 2 enemies. I'm able to grapple out, use a massive swing side jump to just completely clear myself of anyone. Right here, I hear one team in that left hut turn right and walk straight into another team. It's just 2 team pinches everywhere. Use the grapple, and they find it hard to track the grapple like flying momentum because it is so fast paced. And then all I've got to do is quickly slide, run away while they're chasing me until that 14-second recharge is over, grapple again, and then like again I'm furthering that distance away every time I use the grapple, and it's just nearly impossible for them to catch up every single time. Now, tip number 12 is a grapple hiding spots. This is pretty much what I mentioned earlier about getting in like trees and stuff, but that was more about being a recovery beacon person. Now, hiding spots are all over the map. Like you see here, it's with the pipes. I've shown with the trees. There is a ridiculous amount of hiding spots, and let me know if you want me to show you some, because as I said, it's not hiding spots just for camping. There's hiding spots for getting an advantageous position. Say for instance you're a sniper and you just want to pop a person without giving away your position, pop another one. Like you can just get in the tree, pop away. If you're say low on health and you need to get shields, as I said earlier, boom, under a bridge, you're a little troll and you're healing up nice and safe. And it's pretty simple. But tip number 13 is actually grapple attacking. Like actually using your grapple to attack people without grappling them. Now you can like attach onto the back of things and then press crouch to release your grapples. You can release when you want to release and then aim. For instance, here I've used that swing motion to just go completely over the building. That Wraith was not expecting it, and I managed to just hit her in the side before she really knows what's going on. On this occasion, I'm using those swing motions to hunt down my enemy, attack that 3-man squad, and not let them have any time to recover, to escape or get any shield. Similar to how I was saying you can escape and run because you're so fast paced, more so than most characters, the fact is you can use that exact same method to catch up to other characters a lot quicker than they can run away. For example, here I've just used it to do a massive arch launch to get onto the other side of my enemy and save my teammate before he gets finished. It's the actual maneuverability of this character is insane, and I definitely think he's underrated. I think I'm not the most skilled player. I'm gonna be honest, like my aim is maybe a slightly above average. I don't know, you'd let me know. But like in terms of like strategy and that, I think I definitely more skillful with my strategy and my planning. But yeah, this Pathfinder in the right hands with someone that had pro aim as well is definitely, like in my opinion, triple S tier. Like you can just use that maneuverability to fly through into your opponents, and you're flying into them before they even have time to line things up. It's just so useful for attacking people. For instance, here I've got another opponent who's got opposite high ground. He's not expecting me to swing round the freaking mountain and suddenly I'm in his face. Like he panicked just as much as my heart started racing from that move, because I'm sitting there like, you know what, that was a pretty good grapple. I just swung around a freaking mountain and took down this freaking bloodhound. But tip number 14 is surround the enemy. Your Pathfinder, right? You can swing and get onto the other side of enemies, so do that when you're in a fight with a team, because what's going to happen is you're going to swing behind the team, and even if you like don't do a lot of damage, the fact is they suddenly feel like they're getting pinched. They don't have a clue who to focus on. Do I attack the front people? Do I attack the back people? This causes them to be at a disadvantage. It causes them to panic. And for example here, a lot of times they don't even see you get behind them, and you're just allowed to take that easy picking. Like that that grapple, you should be surrounding a team. If you are working well with a team, you should be the person getting behind them every time. Now, tip number 15 is I call it the grapple reset. And this is basically having control of the situation of what's going on. And if you have high ground in this game, 9 times out of 10, you have control. So right here, this freaking lifeline just made a stupid mistake. I managed to take her down easily, and what I've done is I've gone straight to the high ground. I know that the teammate's close and he'll try and go for the hill, or he'll try and go for the kill, but I've got the high ground. He can't get up here without taking ages, so he's gonna go for the hill, and obviously that gives me an easy drop down and shoot before they can even stop healing, and easy kill. Now, in terms of like emergencies, this grapple is going to save you so much. For example, right here, I've just landed and I've got 2 enemy teammates trying to punch me to death. For any player, that's going to get your heart racing. And I screwed up my first under and over grapple hook. I slammed into a thing, so I've got to like duck, dip, dodge and dive, and then the third teammate comes in with a gun. But my grapple is back. I managed to do the side swing, and this gets me on top of the building, and this is what I call the reset point. This is where I turn around the situation, I gain control, I take a moment to figure out what's going on, and I see that my teammates are dropping. Now, one of them's pushing in to help, and I'm low on health. I can't really do much. I know that. I'm probably going to die, but the fact is, I should attack now while my teammate's in trouble from behind, again, surrounding the enemy, and this causes them all to focus on me. I do a ton of damage, but I don't take anyone down, but because they're focused on me, this allows my teammate to go in and take the rest of them down easy without even taking much damage, because they've all just been so distracted and turned on me. At number 16, we have Zipwire attacks. This is super useful to, again, surround your enemy or just to get in close before they actually have a chance of healing. The biggest problem on this game, well, it's not a problem, but one of the biggest issues is being able to get in and close that gap before your enemy have the time to heal. A lot of times people will do a ton of damage to enemies, but they just keep on healing. And right here I'm using that high ground tactic I was talking about earlier to apply as much damage before I think it's safe enough to get in. Now be careful with zip wiring, because right there, if you try and press like X while trying to jump up on the wall, sometimes it can cause you to do like a wall jump that bounces you back. But yeah, just make sure you try and keep the high ground as much as possible until you feel it's safe to go in and finish them off quickly with the zip wire and the grapple. For instance, here we're taking down the final enemy. We've got a zip line set all over the place. So we've got the circle right here, and I've got a zip line set that we've instantly taken the strongest position in that area. We know that there's one enemy left now. We're just going to zip wire in, and even though I'm predictable line, it's also nice and smooth for me to line up that shot. Now on to the final tip of this video. This is a massive one, a massive video, is taking the supply ship. Use your grapple to travel around this ship. Don't be afraid to jump off the ship, and use your grapple to zip wire back up and around and do some tricky shots. Not the best aim, but it's still so much fun to do. And once you do actually like get half good at the game and you start hitting your shots, you'll start pulling off things like this, and it just gives that whole satisfaction a whole new level. And you can do this again with like resetting. There's multiple ways to get in and out. You've got 3 entrances, right, and then that one little tunnel, so technically 4 entrances. Right now I'm fighting a whole squad on the ship trying to take them down, and they suddenly start applying a lot of pressure, and I'm like, okay, this is getting out of hand. I'm probably gonna die, so I use the reset system. I just, you know, I'm just gonna jump out the back, I'm gonna swing up top, jump around and reset, come in through a different exit. But that's pretty much been it. As I said, I'm going to make another video on how to get into like every single tree, because people just don't look up. And if you need to reset, quickly hide, quickly do a hill, this is going to be super useful for every Pathfinder out there. And there's a few trees that normal people can get in. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, let me know what other guides you want to see in the comments, and I shall catch you later. Bye. Oh.